What is up, guys? This is Forrest Knight with iDev Journey episode 11. Now, I know I haven't made one of these in like 3 weeks, I think, but I have a perfectly valid excuse, and that's because I've been slacking on these videos. Is that an excuse? I haven't been slacking on the iOS development, though. I've been sticking with the iOS development. It's just whenever I come to make like this video in particular, I kind of push it back because I'm like, let me just do iOS development instead of actually making the iDev Journey video, which is probably not the best idea because now I have to go back. Right now I'm on lecture 55. I just finished up lecture 55, and some may say, oh, that's not that far along from what you should be within 3 weeks. Well, we made our first app. It's the Miracle Pills app on the Udemy course I'm in, and we made the Miracle Pills app, and we were supposed to have an exercise to kind of build onto that. It's pretty simple, and we're going to build onto that, but instead of building onto that, what I kind of did was remake it. So I built onto it. So, we were given the instructions and followed along to build this much of the app. Let me put in y'all's view. And then we had to put on like this much of the app. So like that much of the actual app we had to like add on knowledge-wise, because we already knew how to do all this stuff because of this. And we just had to basically do the same things, just more of it. And I did that, and I was going to make a video just on that, but on the exercise page, I scrolled down to the comments, and down in the comments, there's a guy who just made and this is what we're supposed to make. I'll just show it to y'all. And this is what he made. So he put this on GitHub, so all of his code was visible and whatnot, but I didn't take his code, I took his graphics. So we're going to use his graphics. Actually, his GitHub thing is, here's his GitHub account, so just in case he ever sees this, and he blames me for not giving him credit. I gave him credit. But we're going to use his graphics, and I'll put them on my GitHub account. If y'all want to follow me and find that, I'll push it up to the GitHub within the next week. I don't know if I'll do it tonight, but within the next week. And then we're basically just going to remake the Miracle Pills app, but with better graphics and just make it a little bit better. And we'll go over everything that we were supposed to do in the exercise as well. Of course, we're just going to make it from beginning to end in this video. And on the video, you're going to be watching the screen, my Mac's down here, my Mac screen. I'm just going to fast forward that and then voice over it so you don't have to sit here for however long it makes me to go through this. Alright, I just got distracted, but I think I was talking about how I'm going to fast forward the screen that y'all are watching. I'm just going to voice over it so you don't have to sit and watch, however long it takes me to complete this app. And also, I just a little tip. Well, not really a tip. It's more of just me telling you something that I do. So I work from 8 to 5, and I come home and I have to do my homework or my video or my iOS development. And most people, they get up in the morning and they go make some coffee and they go into work, or they go into work and drink some coffee. Which I'm not saying I don't drink a cup of coffee or two at the workplace. But when I come home from work, I gotta make myself a cup of coffee, because this is really when the day's getting started at work. Of course, I'm working, but here is when I have to keep on rolling. At work, you kind of programmed to work, 8 hours a day, but it's a little bit harder to work 16 hours a day or 10 hours a day or 50, whatever it may be. So I'm gonna keep my coffee and get rolling. So I just like to mention that because people think I'm crazy that I like to drink coffee at 6:30 p.m. Well, it's 6:17, but Alright, so I'm going to start building this, and we'll talk about it. Alright, ignore everything I just said, because I was just working on this application for the past hour or two, and that's really all I have tonight in order to work on the iOS development portion of things. And I just didn't really get to where I wanted to. I've already created this once. I'm just trying to recreate it for y'all so you can see kind of the process going from beginning to end. And I'll show you the final product right now. Let's look at it. As you can see, if you go try to, skip filling out everything, you hit the Buy Now button, you get the error message. So you have to fill out everything. You can choose your state using a picker view. So you're able to scroll all these states you put into an array in your code. And then you choose your state, and now you're able to hit Buy Now, get the success arrow. And then there's this other cool little thing. It's just an information button. You can just see what Miracle Pills are. And that's that app. And we're going to go into depth on everything in like the next video or two, where I actually do what I wanted to do this video. But I'll tell you what we go over, just not how everything's implemented. We go over constraints, which you implement those in order to have your screen, your app consistent over different size of screens. So if you develop something for 4S, 4S screen is little, you want that to be able to translate over to an iPhone 7 Plus. So that's kind of what constraints are used for. And we use those constraints on image views, labels, buttons, text fields, and anything like that. And that's what those are the main topics of this app that we'll go over in the next video. And then the video after that, what we're going to do is we're going to go over the retro calculator that I'm currently working on. I think I'm actually almost done with it. I've done all of the UI for it, as well as the audio that has to do with the buttons. I'll talk about that in a sec. But we have to implement the math. So we'll have to implement the math of adding, subtracting, multiplying, and dividing in the code in order for the calculator to work, because that's really all the calculator does. We mess with UI stack views on it, which are basically you're able to say you have all the buttons. You have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Not 10. You don't have 10 on a calculator. You have 1, 0. But you have all those buttons. You want them to be spaced the same. You want them to be the same size and everything. And you're able to group all of those together and adjust them using a UI stack view. Mark says with the UI stack view, you want to use this, whenever possible, because if you don't use it and you go back to mess with your code, sometimes you may spend like 2 to 3 hours just reorganizing and just messing with different things, where if you had a UI stack view, it wouldn't really affect it, so you would be saving 2 to 3 hours worth of time, maybe an extra 2 minutes, if that. We learn how to import fonts, not TextCraft like we talked about before, but we're able to import actual fonts into our application. We go over that a bit. Well, we go over actually how to do that during this app. In Lecture 54, we do that. Lecture 55, we're able to implement audio where whenever you click a button, like a beep, like a retro beep sound sounds every single time you click on a button, which of course will get annoying, but this is just a learning process. It's not practical in every way. We can only do the 4 operations. What good is a calculator that can only multiply, divide, add, and subtract? Not as good as your regular calculator you have on your phone already. So that's what you can expect in the second video from now. We're going to go over a few other things as I go along. Sorry this video isn't exactly what you expected, but don't hate me for it. Until next time, have a good one.